Have you ever realized how, due to the Grand Exchange in RuneScape, we kinda all got a basic understanding of economy? And I don't know about you, but I learned more from RuneScape about economy than I did in school. I found an interesting thread on Twitter. Different video. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's going on, guys? My name's Chevelle here, and today we're going to be talking about something different. I know that I don't really touch on in real life stuff on my channel, and this video isn't really in real life stuff either, but it kind of relates to it because I found a very interesting thread on Twitter. Before we get into it though, if you are finding this topic interesting and you want to see more, consider subscribing. We're still on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Also leave a like if you are enjoying this video, and definitely join into the conversation in the comment section down below. I love reading what you guys think, and especially with this because I'm gonna kind of do this differently than I do most of my videos. So I generally want to know from you guys what you think of this concept. If you want to see more of these things, more of these types of videos, just let me know in the comment section down below. Without further ado, let's get into it. So first things first, let me credit the guy who actually made this thread on Twitter. It actually went semi-viral when it comes to RuneScape Twitter. At the moment, it has 7.5k likes on Twitter, which is a ridiculous amount, especially when it comes to something RuneScape related. His name is Wissofecum. I contacted him in DM, so I have his approval for making this video, using his thread for this video. So if you want to read it, I will link it in the description down below and in the cards, like in the top right. I'm pointing there, by the way, and I'm realizing that it's a commentary. There's no video on it. So the way I kind of want to go about it is reading the thread and kind of giving my thoughts on it, and then, you know, kind of discussing it with you guys and seeing what you guys think of it. So please bear with me for my reading skills. I have good reading skills, don't worry about it. But yeah, as I said, it's a bit of a different way of me doing my videos, so definitely let me know what you guys think. But without further ado, let's get into it. So he starts off his thread saying how an entire generation learned how more about money, economics, and business from a game called RuneScape than they did from 12 years in school. And definitely do agree with that statement, because economics, I had to take economics because I switched schools because I messed up in school, but that's a whole different story. But I messed up in school, I had to switch schools, and they didn't offer geography as a class, so I had to switch to economics, and oh boy, I absolutely hated it. But genuinely, my knowledge on RuneScape did help me out, so thank you, RuneScape, I guess. He continues on saying, in this thread we will talk about these 8 lessons. 1, supply and demand. 2, original NFTs. NFTs. LOL. Consistency, OG online communities, risk management, business ethics, competitive pricing, liquidity. When I first read this, I was like, oh god, he goes into way too much detail with this. This might not be good for a video, but then I read it and I was like, this is really interesting. And then obviously I contacted him. So he goes on to say, I don't think there's a single day that passes by on money Twitter. I did not even know that was a thing, but hey, you learn something new every single day, where someone doesn't attribute a massive part of the success to this game. For those who don't know, it's a fantasy MMO game where you train skills to their max level of 99, do quests, and flex. Pretty much hit the nail on his head. Especially nowadays, it's even more about flexing and completionist stuff, like showing off big items, diet items, especially in RuneScape 3, but even in old school, having a very expensive item set, or just, you know, having a maxscape, or anything that is just a flex in this game. Like in RuneScape 3, for example, titles, it generally is a flex. And it's something people work towards, and if you really want to go efficiently for titles, you need money in the game. And he goes on to say, 1, the ecosystem. Jesus Christ. There are skills you had to master by reaching level 99. Skills like attack, defense, strength, woodcutting, fishing. While you train a skill, you were rewarded with drops that you can sell in the Grand Exchange trading system. It's obviously a very simplistic way of putting RuneScape, but I think it does explain it pretty well when it comes to how skills work and how that relates to money, because obviously his whole idea is about making money and about the economy within RuneScape. So some of it might sound a bit basic to some of you guys, but genuinely I do think he does a great job in explaining it to someone who doesn't play this game, because I can explain this game to someone who really wants to know, but that will take 20 minutes because this game is too complex to otherwise explain. So great job on that one, my guy. The game created its own flourishing economy based on supply and demand. There were rare items that dropped every so often. There were basic everyday items that you can use to eat or create other valuable items in the game. Everything was connected from beginning to end. That is very true. Obviously you have rares in RuneScape, and, you know, more common items like food and blocks and stuff like that. But you also have big drops like a Bandos chestplate or a, you know, scythe or whatever. From an early age, a generation of players understood how to stimulate demand for a product and follow trends to make as much cash as possible. I mean, you know, a lot of people really merged, and I think that is quite funny that you, like, merging in a way, it's just kind of like flipping stocks. Like, you buy on a low and then sell on a high. Like, I'm no economy expert, but it pretty much comes down to it. Like, when I watched some videos on, like, cryptocurrency and like how to buy them and how to sell them, and it pretty much came down to try to buy on a low and sell on a high. And obviously there's way too much more to it, but it's very interesting to see how that kind of like relates to RuneScape, and that you learn something like that from RuneScape. Then he goes on to point 2, the original NFTs, the rarest items that have a very little supply. An example is the party hat. They came in $6 and dropped once in 2001. Each year the price increased to millions in the local currency. I will actually have a correction, billions. They're up to, I think, a blue party. It's like over 100 billion GP, which is ridiculous. Like, if you would like translate that to real life money, obviously real world trading is against RuneScape's policy, but that's over 10 grand, which is ridiculous. And it's only going up and up and up and up. It was the ultimate flex. Everyone would know the player who owned it. That is very true. Like, those people are very targeted, and they're very, very at risk when it comes to it as well. He goes on to say in point 3, consistency even during the boring times. Everyone was on a race to reach level 99 across all the skills. The time it took to go from level 1 to 93, correction 92 for that skill, and the time it took to go from 93, he says again, but obviously 92, 99 was the same in length. It took countless of hours to reach. Obviously, Jagex never expected anyone to get 99, so it's very interesting to say that like max is now just a main goal, like everything 99. Obviously, especially in RuneScape 3, XP rates have changed, so it's a lot more feasible. We'd sit back with our friends, talk about strategies to make more cash once we hit a specific level. Could also expedite the process by investing your cash into better material for you to level up quicker. That pretty much means obviously investing into training methods, like for example, buy mahogany planks to train construction quicker whilst you made your money doing Slayer. And I think that is very interesting how if you kind of correlate that to RuneScape as well, like how we kind of spend so much time like trying to get money. My main money maker is clue scrolls, and I'm trying to like make as much money as I can doing these clue scrolls so I can go PVMing, like killing monsters and bosses as efficiently as possible to eventually make even more money, because at the end of the day, the most money in this game is in PVM, at least in RuneScape 3, where it's just very interesting to see how you kind of like want to make money to train quicker. Like, for example, it is more efficient to spend time making money to invest, for example, in woodcutting. So you save time training woodcutting to 99 than doing woodcutting to 99 in like a more cheap way, because in time you make more money. Like the time you save with making money at the start, you can invest in making even more money. So at the end of the day, you just make more money. And at the end of the day, RuneScape is about making money, in a way, and obviously achieving your goals, etc. So I think it's a very interesting take, like how obviously we all discuss it with our friends as well. Like as he said in his post, like we watch YouTube videos, we talk to our friends about it. We were like, okay, well maybe if you do this, it's quicker, or if you focus on doing this during double experience, like my double experience guy, it's not best to get 99s at the first place. It's better to invest your time to do it. To make sure you can do it AFK or in a more profitable way. But that's in my Don't Get 99 videos. Go check it out. It's literally at 8K, bro. That's ridiculous. He goes on to say the OG communities in point 4. My best friends were made within our sphere. People from all across the world with like-minded ambitions would work together to make cash and reach mastery. We would join clans and we would push each other to reach our goals in the game. And I think that's a very good thing as well. Like, RuneScape, especially, like, I met some amazing people. Like, my best friends in real life, I would not be friends with them if it wasn't for RuneScape. Like, we needed to do a project with 4 people in English class, and I had, like, one friend at that time because I was kind of, like, the loner outsider guy in that class. And I walked up to them, and I heard them talk about RuneScape, and I was like, you know what? I said like, yo, were you guys talking about RuneScape? They were like, yes. And now we've been friends for the last 7 years. And like, you know, we will eventually go to each other's weddings and stuff. Like that kind of friends, like very close friends. So it's sick how within the RuneScape community and even like outside of RuneScape, like it connects people from all across the world. Obviously, these people are, you know, where I live. But like, I play with people from Finland. I play with people from America. Like it's where I learned my basic English as well. Like it's so sick. And obviously, the goal in RuneScape, we kind of all like want to help each other out, and like as you said, like joining clans and stuff. Like I'm not big of a clan guy because I'm more of a solo player, but I know a lot of guys who just love it when to just go to a boss and kill it with clan or with like other people, and you know, make money together. And it really does help out with pushing you to a limit. Like I want to eventually camp out more collection logs, and that's just mainly because people around me are doing it and stuff. And like because my mate is going for trim completionist, I'm like, you know what, if he's going for trimmed, I should go for completionist, and we're pushing each other. And I think that's a very good thing, and the community that it formed is just incredible. And then he goes on to say in point 5, risk management. If we wanted a guaranteed way to make some cash, we would manually level up our skills and sit for hours. It was slow but safe. If we wanted a risky way to make even more cash, we'd go to a boss room, of course, bosses. Risk our expensive gear for a better reward. And that's definitely true. Obviously nowadays the risk and reward is a lot more in the advantage of rewards because death cost, save deaths, etc. Like deaths are not as punishing as they used to be, but especially back in the day where, you know, like I'm talking like the original 2007, 2008, if you go to Bandos and you died, you were screwed, you lost your items. Like I'm pretty sure it stayed on the ground for like 2 minutes and you're not making your way back to Bandos in 2 minutes. So you would just hope that your friends would pick it up for you. But if you did get that drop, you would make like tens of millions of gold pieces within the game. And nowadays, it's also like it's not risky anymore, but we're still kind of gambling. Like the reason why people do elite clues is not because it's consistent money. If you want to make consistent money with clues, you either do hard clues or even easy clues. Like easy clues are 25 to 30 mil an hour if you can do them quite quickly, and that's consistent 25 to 30 mil an hour every single hour. But if you do elite clues, which are a lot more less consistent, which are a lot slower, like I think the average loot price of an elite clue without getting a super rare is about like 400, 500k if you're not getting any fortunate components, which is not great. Obviously, the average price of easy clues is even lower, but you get so many fortune components that it balances it out. But if you do get that big drop, if you manage to get that blood die, you're making 10 billion GP in like one go. So it definitely goes to say, like, if you want to like gamble in a way with like RNG in this sense, or even go to a boss, like, you know, you can kill bosses that are very consistent money, but might not have like that big boy drop, or you can go to that boss, like for example, like Carapac hard mode, where you can get the staff pieces that are like, I think sitting at 1.5 bill each. But obviously they're super rare. So are you going to a boss that is consistent money, or are you going to a boss that might not be that consistent money, but is more, you know, focused towards that rare drop? And that applies a bit more to old school RuneScape. Like for example, like Bandos is terrible money, but if you get that Bandos chestplate, you have made like 25 mil or something, or whatever it's hitting at right now. I don't really play old school anymore, but it applies a little bit less to RS3 because I feel like all bosses are quite consistent when it comes to money. But still, it is a very interesting point. I do definitely agree with that as well. But then he goes on to say like how it kind of like relates to real life with business ethics. Like I learned who to trust online through being to seeing different scams, trimming armor, luring, figuring out early on that not everyone has the best intentions. People are selfish and are willing to drain you dry for their own gain. Be wary. And that's very true. Like obviously, like even as a kid, like I knew, like one thing my friend said to me, like literally when I started playing when I was like 7 years old or something, he said to me, don't go across into the wilderness, especially when someone asks you, because they're probably just going to kill you for your armor and they're trying to scam you. Even if they're telling you that they can give you all these things, like you won't get that. And that's the same with like just being scammed in general. Like I remember when armor sets first came out, like the boxes you can buy in the Grand Exchange, like player-to-player trading was still a big thing back then, besides the Grand Exchange. And like, I remember wanting to buy a Rune Armor Set box, and the Rune Armor Set box and the Iron Armor Set box looked really similar. And I saved up 200k and bought full iron for 200k and got scammed. And that kind of taught me to, like, check my trades more. Like, and now with, like, big trades, like, for example, I recently bought Fractured Armadillo, which is sitting at 5.4 bill, which obviously cannot be bought on the Grand Exchange because that only goes to 2147 bill. 2.4147 bill, of course. I had to do player versus player trading, but I'm very careful. I make screenshots, I ask my friends, I'm double checking, triple checking, because they're big trades. And it just kind of teaches you as well, like, not to trust anyone, or especially when it comes to money. Like, I just know that when money is involved, people have different intentions, like within real life as well, and obviously within RuneScape, but especially in real life as well. And it's something I genuinely are just wary of because of RuneScape. And then he goes on to say in point 7, competitive pricing, selling unique bundles, in-demand products directly to consumers. Instead of using the trading platform in a grand exchange, we would create competitive pricing with captivating copy to get the sale quickly. I never really done this personally, but I definitely see what he means here. Like, especially, like, especially when an item comes out first, especially in RuneScape 3, because a lot of like powerful items sit around or above max cash tag, so a lot of people sell them player to player, and like even anything above cash tag really applies to this. It's like it's being merged. Like, merging is such a big part of RuneScape. Like, people are constantly like trying to outbid themselves, outdo themselves, and undercut, overcut, like trying to, you know, especially with party ads as well. Like, it's owned by a very small amount of people, so they just, you know, they try to like just get up the price even more and more and more so they can make more money. Like, if you don't know about party hats, like, they're sitting over max cash tag, max shard stack, even shards at 25 GP each. Like, 2147 million shards are not going to get you a party hat. Like, but a lot of party hat trades are within like the accounts of the actual merchants themselves. So they kind of buy a party hat for 100 bill and say like, oh, the price is 100 bill now, even though they're just selling it to themselves just to get the price up. Obviously, it cannot be done at the Grand Exchange because the Grand Exchange only trades up to 2.147, which is a problem. Go check out my video on it. It's like one of my most recent videos. And the last point he's saying is liquidity. It didn't matter if you had millions of potential GP money in the game or worthy of a specific item. If there was no demand for it, it wouldn't sell. I made a bad trade once. I bought an item on a one-on-one transaction that was very less than market value. Realized quickly that not many people were buying it for that certain time, which means I wouldn't easily convert it into cash, but the value of the item stayed around the same price. It took weeks to sell. A lot of accounts in the Web3 space as well. Oh, sorry, never mind. Like, what he's saying with this as well is like, it's also sometimes risky when you buy something in RuneScape, because something like for example, an Iron Spear Poison ++ might be sitting at 50k. You're just like, I can buy that for like 2k in a Grand Exchange, and like it might be selling for 50k, for example. But that's just because people just quickly want to buy it for a requirement or something. But it is a very low trade chance. So it might look like a good investment, but in reality, maybe one is traded every single day. So to sell the 100 you bought, it might take months or even years. And obviously there's trade limits as well with certain things, but that's besides the point. And I think it's just a very interesting thing to look at and see this thread of something, because what this guy pretty much does, like his bio says, he does something with like market things. Like, he owns a, like, I think like trading, like something, what's it called, like trading, like stock trading, and like like I see a lot of NFT stuff and other things relating to cryptocurrency. Like, I know he will be watching this video, like, please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I gathered from his account. And it's very interesting how, like, he's saying pretty much that, like, the basics of this he learned from a game like RuneScape. And I think that is just fascinating. And reading this thread, and I hope you guys found this interesting as well, like, reading this thread was just great, and I thought it was just such an interesting way to look at things. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Like, do you agree with my stances on my interpretations on his things, and like, how do you experience this yourself, and like, how do you see this? And as I said, let me know what you think of this concept of videos, because I see a lot of Reddit threads as well that I find very interesting and I would love to make videos on. And let me know if you find this like concept of videos interesting, or if you rather just have my normal commentary type of videos, or both. Like, I'm very much down to do both. Like, one doesn't mean I won't be doing the other. But let me know in the comment section down below what you think on this topic. Let me know, of course, about the like format as well. Like the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new. And my name's Chef Elric. See you guys in my next video. Goodbye.